Well, the Stanley Cup playoffs have started, and it's time to go back inside the coach's room. Well, thanks for coming back inside the coach's room with me. I'm Petey. Today, it's time to take a closer look at Game 1. The Stanley Cup playoffs finals are here. And the Edmonton Oilers win Game 1 4-3 in overtime. By the way, grab a cup of coffee or a bag of popcorn because this one's going to take a minute. We might spend a little time on that Verhaeghe goal. Well, let's get right to it. The Oilers take the early lead in this one just a minute into the game, and there's a lot of little plays that make this one happen, and most of them are with number 29. First, it starts at the defensive blue line with Klingberg. Hand pass, throws the puck, stops the puck from moving back into his zone, but he catches two Florida Panthers going the other way, and that's going to be important because he's able to get by them. And now you look at Kane. One of the things the Edmonton Oilers have done in this series, all in this playoffs, is they've been happy with just gaining space and getting chips off of the wall and winning these wall battles. So Kane gets the puck passed and out into the neutral zone, and now it's a race. This is the first time where Draisaitl makes a big play. It's Draisaitl and Forsling racing for the puck. Who wins the race? Well, Draisaitl does. This is a great body position where he's able to push Forsling off of the puck, so he's able to get on the puck. But this takes a lot of strength, and he's doing this all one-handed. So he's able to get to the puck first, and now it's just a scrum. Now you've got all bodies thrown in here, and Forsling finally gets a stick on puck, and he throws it up the wall. But this is where Edmonton takes over. So now, because it hits a couple of feet, now it's along the wall, and Draisaitl's got the puck again. Now he's pulling Forsling up with him. He's able to beat Forsling to the puck. And we always talk about pressure. Look at where the Florida Panthers are. The Florida Panthers are all on one side of the ice. They're protecting the middle of the ice, and they've collapsed defensively. And if you've listened, what we talk about, when you get everybody on one side of the ice, you need to alleviate that pressure. And Draisaitl does that. He's able to get the puck to the weak side, alleviate pressure. Now, we talk about one-on-one coverage. Tkachuk's got Kapanen. He's right with him. He's right there. It's one-on-one. Forsling's got Draisaitl. Everything is fine until players start to drift. So as the puck gets across to the other side of the ice, you can see Tkachuk. Tkachuk looks where the puck is. He's following the puck. He's not following Kapanen anymore. Now he's watching the puck, and that's going to put him out of position. Now Ekblad, he's watching the puck too. Nobody's paying attention to the most dangerous player on the ice right now, and that's Kapanen, who is net front. So as the puck gets delivered, Tkachuk's got a holler switch right now, because right now Ekblad's got Kane. Tkachuk should be on Kapanen in front, but they don't switch. Nobody gets Kapanen in front of that. Both Ekblad and Tkachuk are up towards Kane, but it gets worse. So if Ekblad doesn't get down and get to Kapanen, but now look what happens. Forsling's got Draisaitl. And we talked about this from the beginning. Off of the wall. Forsling and Draisaitl off of the wall. Everything is fine with Forsling. Forsling's doing his job. But now look what Tkachuk does. Not only does he not take the net front Kapanen, he drifts by Kane. So right now, if you're going to take Kane. Take Kane to the net. Somebody has to take Kane to the net. And right now, that's the responsibility of Tkachuk. And if Tkachuk would have stayed with Kapanen, then it would have been Ekblad's job to take Kane to the net. Somebody's got to be there. It was a 3-on-3 at one point. And not only is it not a 3-on-3 now, it's a 3-on-1 at the net. A 3-on-1 at the net. The start is a 3-on-3. This is poor defensive zone coverage by the Florida Panthers. And credit the Edmonton Oilers for driving the net and getting to the net. So it's all up to Bobrovski now. Kapanen gets the first whack at this puck. He's unable to put it by Bobrovski, and you can see Kane drive Forsling out of the way, and we're going to get to that in a minute, which allows Draisaitl, and Draisaitl's not going to miss an empty net from here. Draisaitl puts this one away, past Bobrovski. It's 1-0. But when you see this from overhead, I want you to watch some of this coverage from ahead. Here's where Tkachuk has Kapanen, and he's just got to stay with him. You've got to recognize the most dangerous place on the ice is in front of the goaltender. You protect that area first. So Tkachuk's got to stay with Kapanen, but he doesn't. He drifts away. And if we're man on man, that's where everybody's supposed to be. Everybody pick up a man, and Tkachuk's got to get down to Kapanen, but he drifts, which is fine if he checks off to Ekblad and he then takes Kane. That's not what happens. So, again, Tkachuk floats past Kane. Kane drives the net. Nobody's got Kapanen. Kapanen's able to bang on this, and there's Draisaitl all alone from where he likes to take his shots. And I want you to see this from down low and how tight this is. First, great save by Bobrovski. And Kane misses this one. He can't get his puck on this. This puck is his stick's in too tight. He can't get his puck. Puck's in his feet. But he makes a huge play. By him trying to get there, his feet get tangled up with Bobrovski, which makes him fall. We've seen this before, or we're going to see it soon, where tangled up feet are going to make a difference. His feet get tangled up with Bobrovski. He falls, but by falling, he pushes Forsling out of the way, and that's how Draisaitl has that much room, making this one 1-0. Florida answers back, making this 1-1 halfway through the period. And it starts with Verhaeghe chasing the puck, and he's got Brown. This is a really good job forechecking by Verhaeghe. First on Brown and then on Kulak. As he forces Kulak to make a play up the wall, Tkachuk holds the puck in at the blue line. Again, we talk about Florida's ability to forecheck and keep pucks in the offensive zone. This is a really good job by the Florida Panthers. And now Verhaeghe, who gets the puck back, spins and shoots, but it rolls off of his stick. And he's unable to get this puck at the net. Honestly, if this puck goes on net now, this is probably a nothing play, but it doesn't. So Mikkola pokes at the puck, but before he does, look at the traffic in front of that. Wallman and Bennett have already started mixing this play up. And this is going to be a big deal in just a second. So Mikkola pokes the puck, and he puts the puck to the far corner. And right now, when you look at who's closest to this puck, the defensemen of the Edmonton Oilers, both Wallman and Kulak, are way closer than Tkachuk on the other side of the ice. This has to be Edmonton Oilers' puck. But it isn't. And what happens is you talk about the left defense and the right defense. Kulak is the right defense, so he takes care of this side of the ice. Wallman is the left defense, so he takes care of this side of the ice. Well, it can't matter in this situation. Somebody's got to get to the puck. So that's why Kulak slides back. He's expecting Wallman to go get the puck. But unfortunately for Wallman, he's tied up. He's tied up with Bennett, so he can't get there. So Kulak fades back, expecting Wallman to get the puck, but he's tied up with Bennett, so he can't get it. So who gets the puck? Tkachuk from all the way on the other side of the ice. He beats all of the Oilers back, and now he has the puck. And we talked about how all these guys were tangled up. Well, you know who wanted to call a penalty? Is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He sees that Bennett was holding on to Wallman, not allowing him to get to the puck. He's trying to call a penalty here. Unfortunately, while he's calling the penalty, he misses Verhaeghe coming in behind him, and that's where Tkachuk's able to deliver him the puck. Verhaeghe beats Nugent-Hopkins to the wall. Nugent-Hopkins doesn't have his head on his swivel, not following where Verhaeghe's going, so Verhaeghe's able to drive, and that's where the shot comes from. Brown just misses this puck. Brown is almost there to tip this puck into the corner, but he's not. And then, as we know, everything is happening in front of the net. And this is where Bennett bumps into Skinner, and this puck goes in, tying the game at 1. And we're going to have to look at this one a little bit closer. So we talk about the coverage here. As the puck gets thrown into the corner, you can see this is Wallman. Wallman's got to get there, but he can't because he's getting hooked by Bennett. So he can't get free because he's getting hooked by Bennett, and his stick's underneath him. And so that allows Tkachuk to get to the puck, and this is what creates all of this havoc. And you can see both Kulak and Wallman are giving Bennett the attention. They fall down. They also screen their goaltender, and it's 1-1. Well, we got to see this hook. One of the things that is a hook, but Wallman's also holding on with his stick. So there's a little confrontation. I see why the referee doesn't make this call. They're both jousting in front of the net in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I understand that, why there is no call here. And next, is this goalie interference? I'm a video coach. I was a video coach for over 20 years. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. This is goalie interference, meaning that's what created the goal. The goal is created because Bennett went into Skinner. So now you have to find out how. How did Bennett go into Skinner? Because there is no question that Bennett bumps into Skinner. Everybody it knows that happened. All you're looking for here is how did he get there? And usually the player is pushed in, or he's cross-checked in, or shoved in. And according to talk to a lot of video guys in the last 24 hours, the rule states if you are pushed, shoved, or fouled into the goaltender, and that's going to be a big deal. Is this a foul? Because what causes Bennett to get into the net? Well, it's the feet getting tangled up in front of the net that causes Bennett to fall. There's no doubt about that it's about the feet being tangled up. Now, is this enough? Is this enough of a bump to cause Bennett to fall drastically and dramatically into the goaltender? I don't know. But without that foot kick, he's not falling. And if he does fall without the feet making contact and he falls backwards into the goalie just on his own, this is going to be goalie interference. But because Kulak bumps his feet, whether it's drastic, incidental, or it's on purpose, that's what created Bennett to fall into the goaltender. So this is an incredibly tough call for the video coach of the Edmonton Oilers. I want to give Noah Siegel a shout out. First of all, because I think he's one of the best in the league, the video coach of the Edmonton Oilers. But second, put yourself in his shoes. We've all looked at this frame by frame for minutes and minutes and minutes. And in my case, 20 minutes to an hour, I've looked at this clip. He's got 90 seconds. And in that 90 seconds, he has to look at several replays from several different angles and decide what we just decided. How did he get pushed in? And he has to rely some on the feeds from the Canadian feed and the American feed on what they feed to him. Just like you're seeing at home, that's what the video coach is watching. There are some hardwired cameras at the blue lines and inside the net, absolutely. And he's got a high-end camera which wouldn't show any of this. He is relying on the replays that we are watching at home. And until you get a tight replay that shows the feet bumping into each other in front of the net, this is a difficult call. So in his mind, in the video coach's mind, I'm speaking for Noah. I'm sorry. Yeah, but it is not enough contact. It is not deliberate. It is not a foul that causes Bennett to fall. I'm calling goaltender interference. Plus, one of the things you do as a video coach is you want to stick up for your team, and you can clearly see the goaltender get bumped into by Sam Bennett. This is Sam Bennett. If this is another player, this might not be a call. This is Sam Bennett. Your expectations of Sam Bennett to be a guy that's going to willfully go into the goaltender is almost expected. So that also weighs into your decision. This is Sam Bennett. And maybe the officials will side that, hey, this is Sam Bennett being Sam Bennett, and we're going to call it. It might. And you're taking that chance. And you also want to protect Stu Skinner. So I see all of the things that the Edmonton Oilers are looking at when they're looking at this play. If I'm devil's advocate, a couple things else you got to look at. The Edmonton Oilers are 66% on the penalty kill. Right now, it's 10 minutes into the game, and worst case, it's tied 1-1. It's 1-1. We're back to square even, and we've got 50 minutes of hockey yet to play. We're okay. But when you make this call on a penalty kill that is right now killing at 66%, you have to be concerned. If your power penalty kill is 98% right now and you're going, hey, we're going to kill this anyway, I'm going to stick up for my goalie. I think this is a message we're going to send to Sam Bennett. I'm going to make this call and I'm going to challenge this. Man, knock yourself out. But you're 66%. So that's another red flag when you're making this call that you have to be aware of before you make the call. Now, we all know how the call went. The referee says the contact of the feet is what created Bennett to fall into Skinner. That's what the goal was called for. And that is how the Florida Panthers tie this game up at 1. Well, on the ensuing power play, Florida makes it 2-1. So as the Florida Panthers are coming up the ice, there's a couple of things I want you to look at. First is a really good play by the ability for the Edmonton Oilers to get under stick of Bennett. Hopkins gets under Bennett's stick as the entry occurs, and he knocks the puck away. Unfortunately, it doesn't go outside the blue line. Hits Rodriguez in the shin pads, and now Florida is able to maintain offensive zone pressure on the power play. And one of the things we talked about all the time, and I want you to pay attention to this on the power play, if you're getting pressure from above, that means you throw the puck above because the player that is pressuring you from above is defending this area of the ice. So that's what happens here with Rodriguez. He's pressured from above, throws the puck back above, and look at all the room that Schmidt has now because of that. Now, Henrique thinks the most dangerous player is Bennett on his one-timer. And we talk about how aggressive you want to be on a penalty kill. Well, right now, he's got to recognize that there is pressure in behind him, and it's Marchand, and he's also on a one-time. So Henrique goes too far. He thinks Bennett's the threat. So he goes high, and that opens up this lane between Schmidt and Marchand. And also, you got to look to the front of the net because Nurse and Bouchard are both on Verhaeghe. And right now, Nurse has to be loose. He's got to be loose enough so that he can get away and get to the other side. And he might not be able to block the pass and be in the shooting lane, but he might be able to get stick on puck before Marchand shoots. But he doesn't. And if you see if Henrique doesn't go as high, he's in that passing lane, but it's not. Nurse is not there. The pass comes through. Marchand gets the one-time shot off, and it's 2-1. And when you see it from above, you can really see how Henrique overcommits, and they've got pressure 2-on-1 in front of the net. And Nurse is just a little late getting to the puck. And I want you to see on this pass as it comes through. First, look how close Nurse gets to get in this. He is almost there. He's almost able to deflect that, but Marchand's able to get that up and over Skinner, and it's 2-1 Florida. Well, Florida keeps the pressure on, making this 3-1 early in the second period. And it starts at the puck all the way back in their end of the ice. And we're going to look at a couple things here. Henrique needs to relieve pressure. We talk about how if you've got all the defending on one side, you want to get the puck to the other side, and you want to relieve that pressure and get the puck to the weak side. So Henrique fires it around the wall. And this is where Bennett and Henrique are together now. That's going to be important in a little bit. Bennett, Henrique, side by side, and beating your player off the wall. But as Henrique rims this around the wall, Tkachuk's able to get a stick on this. Puck bounces on Klingberg. Klingberg just bounced it to the middle of the ice. Well, Verhaeghe was hoping that Tkachuk would get it by, and we'd be off on the races and looking at an odd man rush going that way, but it doesn't. So Verhaeghe's momentum pulls him back into the zone. Verhaeghe's going this way. Well, Brown and Schmidt are going that way. And if Brown stays in this lane above Schmidt, again, the play breaks down. But Brown he wants to follow the puck and he wants to get on top of Verhaeghe, so he stops just for a second. As Verhaeghe's momentum's carrying him back into the defensive zone, Brown checks his shoulder and he sees Verhaeghe stopping. But he doesn't see Schmidt coming full speed in behind him. And it's just that quick second that Brown turned and looked. That's enough for Schmidt to get ahead of him. We see Henrique and Bennett. Now Bennett's clearly ahead of Henrique. And as this puck comes up the ice, you can see now it's a 2-on-1 for Wallman. And Wallman's got to play this like a 2-on-1. He's got to play in the middle of the ice. He's got to stay between these two because he sees his back checkers do not have their men as they're coming back up the ice. And you can see the pass from Schmidt gets all the way through to Bennett, because Wallman's way over here. Instead of playing this more like a 2-on-1 with back-checking pressure. It would be great if Wallman was there to attack this puck right now, but he's not. Bennett's clear all alone on Skinner. He's able to put this one by him. So when we look at this one from above, again, we see the race at the bottom of the screen between Henrique and Bennett. It's going to be a big deal. And as Verhaeghe pulls down Brown, allows Schmidt to go out, look at Henrique. He just takes a look for 1 second. That's how small the details are. He stops skating for a minute to watch the puck, and that's enough for Bennett to win this race up the ice and put this one past Skinner for a 3-1 lead. Edmonton's able to make this 3-2 again early in the second period, and let's put this one just inside the offensive zone. It started off with Rodriguez with the puck in the offensive zone with Janmark tracking him down. Janmark puts a stick, and Rodriguez is trying to stop. Again, we're not talking about the officiating here. Rodriguez is trying to stop, and he's trying to turn his body this way. As he does that, the stick of Janmark might have just bumped his feet just enough to help spill him and put him down. Now, this is where the Edmonton Oilers defense have been great at this all series, is their ability to get the puck up the ice. Bouchard looks, checks his shoulders. He sees where Podkolzin is. So as soon as he gets the puck and feels any pressure, he gets that puck to Podkolzin, and he's up the ice through the neutral zone. And look at this. At the blue line, this is a 2-on-2. And again, a 2-on-2, Florida's fine. This is a team that defends extremely well. A 2-on-2 at the blue line, and one of those players is standing still, everything is fine. But Podkolzin, with his speed, pulls the defenders back. And we talked about driving this way also pulls the defenders with you. And when you pull the defenders with you, it opens up space in behind. And that's exactly what happens for Arvidsson. Podkolzin pulls the two defenders for the Florida Panthers so no one can attack Arvidsson. Arvidsson shoots. And it's not just enough that Podkolzin drives the net and pulls the defenders. He also gets in the way of Bobrovski. So now Bobrovski can't see. This one goes by him, and it's 3-2. And when you see what Podkolzin does on this play, again, he's driving up the ice. He pulls both of these players with him, which allows Arvidsson to get the shot. And there he is, right in front of the goaltender. And so as the shot comes from Arvidsson, goaltender can't see. And I want you to see what it looked like from Bobrovski's eyes from here. As this puck is coming through, you can see it just misses Podkolzin. And Bobrovski's eyes are still looking forward, and the puck's almost by him. He has no idea where the puck is. Underneath his arm. This one's tightening up. This one's 3-2. Got to go to the third period where the Edmonton Oilers tie this one up. Schmidt's got the puck in behind the net, and he flips it out. He's got pressure from Draisaitl, and it's the little things. Draisaitl's pressure, he's got to release the puck. If Draisaitl's not working to get back to position, then Schmidt can just skate the puck up the ice. He's got all kinds of ice. But again, because of the little details like Draisaitl pushing the play, that makes Schmidt throw the puck out to center ice. Now, Tkachuk gets the puck at center ice, and he decides to slap at it with his stick. Now, and this is Matthew Tkachuk. He's a great player in the National Hockey League. I'm not sure if he thought there was someone coming up in the lane and they were going to have some support coming with him. Hindsight's 2020, and right now that's what we do here on the video. It's hindsight. Right now, if he plays this with his glove and sets the puck down and controls this puck with his stick, now he's got more options. Now he can wait for players to come in. Now he can chip the puck in behind Ekholm, but he doesn't. He just slaps at it with his stick, and when he does that, now it's the Edmonton Oilers puck. And we talk about how quick the Edmonton Oilers move the puck. We also talked about the most dangerous player on the ice for both teams is Connor McDavid. And what do you need to do with Connor McDavid? If you've been watching, you know the plan is you have to stay above Connor McDavid, which means stay between Connor McDavid and your net. I don't care what your system is. I don't care if you're 1-1-3, 1-3-1. Stay above McDavid. Don't give him any speed or any opportunities with the puck. Bennett goes by McDavid, and he takes a stab at Bouchard. Not only miss McDavid, he misses Bouchard. I don't know where Bennett was going on this one, but he misses everybody. And now you've given Connor McDavid the fastest guy on the ice, time and space to get up through the neutral zone. As he comes, everybody for the Florida Panthers recognize where the pressure is. Tkachuk and Kulikov come to McDavid to take away the pressure, but he makes a great play, and he makes the play over to Kapanen. So as Kapanen comes up the ice, Tkachuk falls down. He's trying to get to Kapanen, but he falls down, and that's what opens up this play. He is trying to make this play, and nobody stayed with McDavid. So the puck gets to McDavid. He's able to drive the net, and you can see where all the Florida Panthers collapse at the net. McDavid's trying to get this puck to Kane. It gets through all the way to Ekholm. Ekholm fires it through the crowd, and Edmonton ties this one. But when you see this one coming up the ice and you see as McDavid gets crowded just inside the blue line, both Kulikov and Tkachuk go to Kapanen. Somebody's got to stay with McDavid. If you're not going to be above him in the neutral zone, you sure as heck better be with him in the defensive zone. So Tkachuk has to follow through and stay with McDavid, or he's got a holler switch. And this is where communication is so important. So Kulikov drops off and it can fade back and again, defend McDavid. They've got 4 guys back right now. The Florida Panthers have 4 guys back. There's no reason that they shouldn't have somebody able to stay with McDavid. Tkachuk had him early, so Tkachuk could stay with him and allow Kulikov to step up. But they both step up, and Kapanen's able to make this play to McDavid, and everybody goes to the front of the net. Got the net covered extremely well. Ekholm comes in behind. He's able to put this shot through. But I want you to see what happens when this puck comes through. As he's trying to get to Kane in the middle of the ice, and you can see what happens. It goes off of Bobrovski's stick, and it goes up into the air over everybody, and that's what allows Ekholm to do this. But look at what Bobrovski's looking at. He's got Bennett and Schmidt right there. There is no chance for Bobrovski. The puck is in the net right now, and Bobrovski has got his face in the back of Bennett. So Bennett can get in the blue paint on both ends, and he bumps in the goalie on both sides, and this one goes in. And we got a tie game. And now it's time for overtime. And leading up to this, and we're going to talk about Nosek and the penalty Nosek takes. And poor Nosek for taking this penalty and putting the puck over the glass. But you got to look at what created it. And Podkolzin is coming all the way from this side of the ice, along the wall. He goes all the way across the ice, and he pushes on Nosek. Without Podkolzin going full speed from one side of the ice to the other, there is no contact. Nosek just carries it. Or he's got the ability to make a play up the ice. But because Podkolzin, the little plays matter. Podkolzin makes the play. Nosek throws it over the glass, and you can see it here, how close Podkolzin gets to making this play. He feels the pressure. The puck goes over the glass, and now there's a power play in overtime. And what happens on the power play? Well, I want to talk about McDavid. So McDavid's coming up the ice. He's played over 30 minutes in this game, more than any other forward in this game, and he comes up the ice through the neutral zone flying with full speed, and he is attacked by 4 Florida Panthers, and he's still able to get this puck to Nugent Hopkins. This makes the play. This pushes the Florida Panthers back. It allows the Edmonton Oilers a clean entry. Nugent Hopkins has the puck, and just like we talked about before on the power play, if you're getting pressured from the top, where does the puck go? The puck goes up top too. So Marchand's putting pressure. Nugent Hopkins throws it back to the point. And again, now he's got him running. So Marchand runs up. The puck goes back to Nugent Hopkins. And now this is one where the aggressive penalty kill comes back to haunt the Florida Panthers. But again, that's how they play. And they're not going to change because they lose a game. They're going to continue to be aggressive. But both Jones and Marchand go to Nugent Hopkins along the wall. And I'm telling you, Jones goes high. Jones is above the top of the circle. Now, there are a lot of teams in the National Hockey League that don't allow their defense to go higher than the circle. That is their demarcation. Don't go higher than the dot. Jones goes all the way up top. And that opens up all this space in behind. And this is where the problems start to happen. So as Nugent Hopkins passes the puck to Perry, you have to look at Mikkola now attacks the puck. Again, one move, they all move. Mikkola is attacking too. So now when he attacks, he's leaving the front of the ice. The front of the net in front of Bobrovski, when your penalty kill is tight, this is what you're protecting. You're protecting the front of the net. That's the most important thing. But as you move quickly and move the puck quickly, you can help spread out that penalty kill. So look how far out the penalty killers are for the Florida Panthers. When you spread out the penalty kill, you create room for your other players. And this is the kind of room that you're going to create by spreading out the penalty killers. Perry makes an unbelievable pass backhand behind him from Mikkola because, as we said, if the pressure is from below, the puck goes below. So Mikkola pressures from below. Perry throws the puck where he was supposed to be. And now Jones and Marchand are rushing, trying to get back into this play. They're too late. And now you got a 2-on-1 with arguably the 3 best players in this game, McDavid and Draisaitl against Barkov. McDavid waits, and he waits for Barkov to commit. Barkov goes to McDavid. As soon as that happens, he makes the pass to Draisaitl, and Draisaitl's not missing from this close on a one-timer. Edmonton wins this one in overtime, but let's look at it from above. So as if Jones stays on the dot, again, this play breaks up. Let Marchand go back and forth between these two, and we call it windshield wipers, back and forth between those two and defend. But because he went up so high, this opens up. Now you want to create 2-on-1s on the power play. This creates a 2-on-1 down low with Mikkola. Now as Mikkola attacks, now you've created another 2-on-1 down low with Draisaitl and McDavid, and that allows him to make this play. But I want you to appreciate this pass from McDavid. Up and over Barkov. And he gets this puck up and over the stick of Barkov. And again, we're talking about Draisaitl's one-timer. He's not missing from here. It's up on his stick, off his stick as quickly as possible. And I want it one more time because it is the overtime winner. Take a look at this pass from McDavid up and over the stick of Barkov. Perfectly flat sauce. Draisaitl beats Bobrovski. Edmonton Oilers go on to win this one 4-3. And they take game one. They have a 1-0 lead over the Florida Panthers. Is this series over? Oh, buddy, no. This is a long way from over. This series is separated by a razor thin margin. It's the littlest of mistakes and the littlest of great plays. They're going to win this series. This series goes back to Edmonton for game 2. And we'll be here on Inside the Coach's Room tomorrow talking about what changes or no changes the teams need to make and what they need to do to prepare for game 2. Until then, thanks for coming inside the coach's room and watching these videos with me. I appreciate you spending your time watching me break these down. I'm Petey, and we'll see you at the rink.